I am Slick Nick, and you are watching my Red Pill channel. Let's understand that better. Let's unpack that, because a lot of my viewers don't get it. They keep asking questions that they should already know the answers to. So let's first define what red pill means, and then I'll give you some examples of some of the questions that come up and why they shouldn't be coming up. So what I did is I got my phone here. I Googled red pill just in case anyone needs to be refreshed on the definition of red pill. Here it is. Red pill, used to refer to a process by which a person's perspective is dramatically transformed, introducing them to a new and typically disturbing understanding of the true nature of the particular situation, end quote. So, would you want to know the truth even if you didn't want to hear it? Would you rather live in that version of reality where you accept things for how they actually are instead of how you want them to be? Whereas blue pill is basically giving that power to someone else, thinking, I'm not happy and content and complete, so let me put my hope in another person. Let me, if I spend enough money on the right product, if I change these things about myself that I can't naturally control, then maybe then people will like me more. So that's the opposite of what I'm about. So for me, I'm always about, hey, life isn't perfect. There's plenty of challenges in life. There are so many things I cannot control, but there's so many I can. And see, that's red pill mentality, is to think, well, what are the things I can control? And what I've noticed is that most people who have that victim mentality of that blue pill, what they say is, well, I'm not happy because I don't have these things. And what's interesting is those things are typically the things they have zero control over. Meanwhile, the things they could actually control, they don't want to focus on that. That's victim mentality. You have to choose to think victoriously. Like my name, Nicholas, my given name, means victorious. That's a choice though. You're not just born that way. You have to choose every day to be victorious. It is up to you to create your happiness instead of chase it. So, as I'm outing myself as an official red pill endorser here, and you're knowing that all my videos reflect this mentality, let's look back on some of the general questions I continue to get on this channel. Hey Nick, you're only 5'9". Why don't you take growth hormones? Why don't you get surgery to get your legs longer? Don't you want to be taller? My response as a red pill, no. I'm at peace with not being tall. It's totally okay. I'm confident in who I am. I don't need to pay money or go through any kind of extensive surgery, whatever it is, to become taller. Hey Nick, you'd be a good candidate for a hair transplant. Why don't you do it? Response, I don't need hair to be happy. I had made up my mind back in my 20s that if I went bald, then that's who I would be. That was who I was meant to be, would be a bald guy. It didn't happen, but I was prepared for it either way. Again, I don't want to put my happiness in someone else's hands. That's victim mentality, and that's not what I do. So as far as any kind of self-improvement, self is the word, self-improvement. Why am I going to leave it up to somebody else to improve me? That's thinking pathetically. That's thinking like a weak-minded person, which I'm not. I'm a very strong-willed person, a very strong-minded person. See, a lot of my viewers are not like me, but I'm 40 years old. I've lived half of my life now. So I understand how things work. Going back to red pill mentality, you get to decide. Would you rather know the truth, even though it can be disturbing, or would you rather live in some sort of boring fantasy where you don't really get what you want, but you hope that other people will give you what you want? See, one of those sounds good and one of those doesn't, depending on who the listener is. I like my version. It's reality. It's accepting certain things I cannot change and certain things I can, so I'll focus on those things I can. And I base my identity on that. I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm bad at. Largely though, this comes down to, are you a person who knows who you are? And it's hard to do when you're younger. Where do you start? You start by figuring out, what am I bad at? For me, I'm bad at math, science, direction, like following directions. I'm horrible at so many things. But by default, if you're bad, you can only be bad at so many things. Because by default, if you're bad at things, then the opposite of those things you're probably good at, which is exactly the case for me. I'm good at communication. I'm musically inclined. I'm good at convincing people to do things. While I can't do math and science very well, I can do these things. So whatever the thing is for you that you're bad at, do the opposite. Spend some time doing the opposite of the things that you're bad at. You'll probably find out what you're good at. It will increase your confidence level, and it'll help you think more clearly. And when you realize, wow, I do have control over my life, I have control over my identity, I don't have to give it away, I don't have to give that to other people, then you can actually be happier. And you're not wanting to change these things that you have no control over. So that's why I can be completely happy being 5'9", having a hairline that goes back, or whatever silly thing it is. It doesn't bother me. I don't need those things to be happy because I create my own happiness. This is Red Pill. Keep these words in mind as I make future videos. And when I'm asked questions, I want you guys to help me out in the comment section and say, it's because Nick's red pill. That's why he won't. Because Nick Shell is red pill. Will you go ahead and start doing that? I'm asking you, my army of believers here, those who back me up on this red pill thing. Or even if you don't believe in it, at least help me out in the comment section on future videos and answer people's questions for them. Say, it's because Nick is red pill. That's always going to be the answer, because Nick is red pill. One last question that I get from time to time: why do you make all these videos? Okay, to me it's very obvious. What do all of us YouTubers have in common? We're making ad revenue. When before the video or during it, an ad pops up, we get a little cut of that. For me, it totals $500 a month. So why do we do these videos? Why do we do so many? Why do we care? We don't necessarily care about what we're talking about. But what we do recognize is, if I can make $500 a month by talking about things I may not even care about, and that's all I have to do is sit in front of a camera a couple hours a week and do these, and I'll get money for that. But see, even that is red pill thinking that I'm doing this. It's blue pill victim mentality to say, why does he make these videos? It's red pill to think I'm making these videos because I am going to help people sort out their own issues, as silly as those issues might be, but I'm going to get paid for that. Sort of like, I don't know, a doctor, a therapist, anybody that you would pay money to get some kind of help from. That's ultimately how us YouTubers are. We're helping you, we're providing you with knowledge. You in turn spend your time watching the videos, which earns us ad revenue. I'm taking control over things. I'm being a creator and a consumer. I challenge you. Take that red pill. See what it's like choosing to create things instead of simply consuming them. Your thoughts on red pill belong right here.